Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 PC review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Half-Life 2, which if you've never played it before, it's a first-person shooter, and I personally think it's one of the greatest games ever made. I absolutely love it. So before I go any further, I'm going to try not to do any spoilers for the second one, but there will be spoilers for the first one, so if you haven't beat the first one yet, please leave now. Anyway, at the start you've got the usual stuff like options where you can obviously customise your controls, you can change your video settings and that. And then you've got new game, and I'm not going to start from the very start like I usually do, because the problem I had with the first one is the start of the games are so long and drawn out. It's the pretty much only downside to the games, because for newcomers to the series it's a bit boring watching it, and it's even worse when you're trying to review from the start of the game, because you have to cut past 20 minutes of stuff, 30 minutes of stuff, etc. But I beg you that they give the game a chance, because hell, I couldn't ever get into it, and someone forced us basically to sit through the start and said, trust me, if you get past the start, you'll love it. And they're right, it's one of them games that when it picks up, it doesn't half pick up. It's full of action, it's got some fantastic puzzles in it, and it's just one of them that really is worth giving a chance to. Because basically you've got this lovely little grav gun over here, this is just the basic version. It allows you to pick things up, blast things away. You can pick up chainsaw blades like this over here, and when enemies walk through the door you can cut them in half. So let's try and set that up. There we go, nice. And obviously the more enemies, the more they get cut in half. There's also these fan blades on this section at least anyway, because Ravenholm, which is the chapter I'm on now, is basically insane and sadistic and everything. It's full of traps and torture devices, and it's possibly why it's the best level, because it's so dark and eerie and just magnificent. Unfortunately, like the first game, there isn't really any music to speak of all the time you're happening, because it's setting the scene up, but when there is music, boy is it fantastic. So I can't really let you listen to any of it, but it's kind of like a really cool techno version of cool music, because I can't really say that techno is cool, so how they managed it with this one I don't know. Just going to cut into a different level though, just to show some different stuff off. So anyway, this is how the level sand traps. Basically, it's like the last game in the way that levels go as well, because it's one massive game that's just separated by little bits of story. This one's got a lot more story in it than the last one, to be fair, which is good, because I think the story's fantastic. This one, as you might have already noticed by now, has vehicles. You can get this lovely little car. There's a fantastic hovercraft as well. I love the hovercraft level. But basically, there's 14 chapters overall, but it doesn't really matter, because the chapters are just massive, and it's one of them that 14 make it seem like a small game, but it's actually a lot bigger than it seems. So anyway then, that was the Jeep. This is the hovercraft. The hovercraft has a more conventional weapon. It's got a machine gun, but it doesn't always have a machine gun. The main part of the hovercraft, to be fair, is actually that you're just running around avoiding bad guys and that, and it's more of a chase scene thing going on, and it's really good because of that, because it adds a lot of challenge to the game. The hovercraft also has a flashlight. For some unknown reason, the Jeep doesn't, even though I'm pretty sure you can see headlights on the Jeep. So it's one of them that's just a bit annoying, because the Jeep pretty much needs it more than the hovercraft does. You've got your standard HEV suit back, and basically that tells you things like how much oxygen you've got when you go underwater. You've now got stamina and that, because you can run, and the stamina is also your oxygen. So if you're running like mad and you're down to 1 bar and then you jump in the water, then you're pretty much going to start suffocating straight away. So you have to be careful with that. It also tells you obviously your ammo, your armour, things like that, because you can get armour and that. You can get the good old things that the game used to have, these little wall mounted things that give you health and armour and that. But seeing as I've just realised I'm now locked into a 15-minute story section, just going to cut another level. But basically running out of things to say without mentioning any spoilers of the story and everything, obviously. It's got a load of little things to it, like that are new, like these guns here, which basically they sentry turrets, and you activate them off and they start firing at you. But if you use the grav gun, then you can actually pick them up, hold them in front of you, and then they'll start firing at enemies. So that's pretty cool. It's one of the things that's just basic. I think it was basically there to show off just how good the Source engine was at the time. You've got some dodgy alien weapons again, like this, the Alien Spore, which is basically that, is just you chuck it, and on levels where you're commanding ant lions, that allows you to command them. So instead of the ant lions killing you, then you command them and you can just send swarms after enemies. The good old rocket launcher with the laser targets back, so wherever the laser target's pointing, the rocket goes, so you can control it mid-air. The crossbow's back, and it's even better this time. You've got this really cool machine gun now that has that, which basically is a plasma ball bouncing all over the place and it explodes. So there's some sweet weapons, and overall I just think it's an excellent game, one of the best that's been made in the genre, and the episodes just lengthen it as well. But I can't do the episodes now because they're that big, they're like individual games, so I'll just do the episodes individually, and hopefully the third one's coming out soon as well, because I've been waiting for that for ages now. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you've enjoyed it, or at least found it helpful. You might have noticed I didn't score the game. Well, that's because it's a matter of personal opinion, and yours may very well differ from my own. I'm just here to show you a bit about the game. If you like it or not, well, that's up to you. If you don't like it, or you do like it, feel free to comment. Also, if I haven't answered any of your questions that you may have had, I might have forgot something, or it might just be something obscure. Again, feel free to comment, ask, always willing to help out. Otherwise, if you don't like commenting on YouTube, head over to www.vc-forums.com, where you can chat with me and a bunch of other lads who love the VC, the WiiWare, and hell, even a lot of other systems. We cater to pretty much everything. You can just go there, have a chat about a game, ask about some games, etc. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.